Okay. Okay. Just a normal game of Fortnite. That's all this is gonna be. I was still reeling from the last time I played Fortnite. The embarrassment of being clapped like that. From another player on the squad, that I trusted. It was too much to think about. I booted up the game and watched the loading screen. Ever since the medallion came inside me, the loading screen had been acting, fairly normal. This time, though, it was sorta a strange occurrence that happened at once. So as I said, the loading screen was normal enough, but what was that? My HUD was already in the game on the bottom right, even though the screen was just not even in the place where the battle bus launches yet. But this HUD, it was still there, even when I went to choose my skin, before I remembered that I don't need skins to be myself. What was even the weirdest part was that there was a sixth slot, to the left of where all the normal guns, tools, and etc's go during the game. I thought this had to be a glitch, or perhaps the result of a fluid-related accident that happened on my PlayStation. This Phantom 6 slot, it seemed to have a foreboding presence, as if it was the box that someone would put a dead animal into and throw it off a cliff, watching as it tumbled into the ground below, yelping and whistling and even barking sometimes too. This time, I decided I needed to get myself a sweet victory royale, even though that's what I decide every time I play. But I guess this night I was just feeling different, like I needed that dub. Maybe a part of me thought that this extra HUD box was gonna help, at least until the screen started glitching like an old TV that didn't have the remote. Don't tell me this is one of those Fortnite games, I thought, but it was too late to back out now, because it seemed like some sort of sticky glue-like substance, perhaps a glue of some sort, was, sticking my hands to the joysticks, and I didn't want to take my eyes off the bright, glitching colors that looked like when the TV signal gets lost and the colored bars are on the TV. But, much to my relief, the TV went back to normal just as the famous battle bus took off. I was trying to decide where to land when I opened up the map and noticed with a groan that it seemed like it was all sorts of effed up, with scary names and things going wrong. Pleasant Park was now called Lights Off After Dark, and Hazy Hillside was called Crazy Landslide. Lots of people died. Oh boy, another one of those Fortnite maps. This seems to happen to me a lot when I play this game. The final location that I saw before things honestly got really freaking scary was what should have been Lavish Lair to be called There's an Entity on Your HUD. Huh? I asked to no one in particular, feeling my pulse exciting and getting that feeling where something might slip out of my backside if I wasn't careful. I closed the map and looked down to my HUD, and I saw something that was so scary. Sort of breaking through the normally transparent part of an inventory slot was two eyelids. Slits appeared on the screen, and with great difficulty, these eyes seemed to open. I had a feeling they were open because I could see the pupils moving around and they were red. The sort of red that only happens when the blood of a lady who just got murdered in an alleyway despite 40 people hearing her scream gets killed on the sidewalk. Then, the entity opened its mouth. Its teeth looked like shards of broken glass that you couldn't see through that hadn't been brushed for 3 to 5 days. The plaque buildup was orange, and sometimes it would run a sporked tongue through the teeth, as if to try and slurp off the remaining guts of a dead effing baby that it just ate after a mom gave birth and gave the baby to the nurse, thinking it was a normal nurse, but having it turn out to actually be the entity. Open that chest and you will see a crazy shotgun for a killing spree, the entity said, its teeth biting into its bottom lip and exploding a mist cloud of blood onto the bottom of the screen. It Its voice sounded like what if there were nails on a chalkboard that was mixed with a train braking from high speeds mixed with Scooby-Doo. But, wouldn't I know it, the chest opened up to be a shotgun, in the mythic category. Whoa, I said to myself out loud, trying to ignore the blood on the HUD. How did it know that? I know everything about you, Terrence, the entity replied. Ah! I yelled as I ran in the game. How does that make you feel? The entity asked me, its teeth chomping up and down like a hydraulic press that was on its way to crush your childhood best friend. Well, I gulped a load of snot and saliva that had built up in my mouth. I don't know what you are. Oh, Terrence, the entity laughed, and the screen went black for a pitch second, while the red eyes looked right into my soul. We're gonna talk about your latest Fortnite games, and you're gonna tell me how they made you feel. That way... The eyes paused. I could see through the blackness of the entity's invasion that I was getting shot, and my controller rumbled a little bit. I need to get in the game. I'm getting freaking shot at, I yelled. Tell me what's troubling you, Terrence. Tell me what is leading to this outburst, the entity hissed. I could now see my health bar at the bottom of the screen, and yeah, FML. My shield just cracked. I'm getting shot at, the entity. I need to keep playing. There's something troubling you that's making you act this way. Maybe you could tell me. Maybe you would feel better after talking about it. Maybe. And this is when it opened its mouth. On the full screen. Maybe you and I will be having lots more meetings in the future. It would help with all your issues. Suddenly, I woke up in my bed. I was covered in a brown, poop-like substance until I realized I fell asleep with my M&Ms again. I looked over to my TV, and there was no sort of scary Fortnite on it. Maybe it was all a dream. Maybe all a dream. The next day, I told my dad and my stepmom about the scary dream that I had, but it seemed like my dream fell on ears that couldn't have the ability to hear anymore. My stepmom looked at my dad, and my dad said, maybe you and Mr. Freud will continue meeting. It might help with all your issues.